It's now time for Me and My Roku with host Peter Clay. No good bar like a soundbar.
Incidentally, this is Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Pete, you are not.
Not everybody sounds like Peter Clay.
This is what it's all about, isn't it?
Peter Clay is here today.
Holy crap, it's Peter.
Wow. Oh, boy.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Me and My Roku. I'm your host, Peter Clay. Welcome aboard. Well, as threatened, I thought I might come back a little early this time, since this is a podcast and it's a me show, the Me and My Roku. I come by every now and then and discuss what I do with the Roku in hopes that spurs some creativity in others as well. And since I got a new toy, a new Roku soundbar, I thought, well, golly gosh, why don't I just share the little details? I could just put it up on my new website that I've got, meandmyroku.com, but what fun would that be when you can hear my voice and hear all the things that I went through with Me and My Roku soundbar. Sounds exciting? Well, hey, let's get started.
Ooh, yeah, girl. Ah, baby.
Okay, well, got a new toy. Got the new Roku soundbar with a Roku Ultra built in. So it's the latest and greatest of the Roku as far as the device itself, the Roku itself inside, and its new sound system. All built in one nice little unit. The box made it seem a little bigger than it actually is, and it did fit right underneath our TV set. As you know, TV speakers lack a little depth and complexity and all that stuff. That's on one side. On the other side of the Roku on it is the amount of volume it can do for the amount of room that we have. It's a bit overkill, actually. I could not get it to go even halfway because that would be way too loud. About 15, 16 was the best I could do with a person involved, and about 20 for myself and all that stuff. Other than that, it was like way too loud. But other than that, and then the adjustments that you have to make then, both with the vocal quality and maybe adding a little bass in there, adds to it. So as far as sound quality goes, it's really good, and it's better than TV speakers. I've been trying to do, I have an old stereo receiver that does Dolby Pro Logic. That's kind of like having a Roku XD. So a little dated as far as sound quality goes, but better than TV speakers. So that's was the point beyond getting the unit itself. So as far as hooking up a Roku, not bad as far as getting the actual Roku part up and running and then just going to Roku and registering it and all that stuff. That part was fine. And then in the process then I realized, well, I should probably unlink my Roku LT. It is no more, and to make room for that. So I realized that maybe the LT was probably a little long in the tooth when I looked at the presets on the remote and saw MGO and Blockbuster on it. So yeah, I felt sad for a second, and then I looked at it and goes, dude, you had a good life. It's time. So MGO kind of led to Fandango now, and Blockbuster, well, we all know that story. So anyway, the next tricky part then was hooking the sound up. So you hooked an HDMI cable to it. I used the one that came with it then because the one I had also seemed a little long in the tooth and a little too long for what I needed. And what the Roku is asking for is looking for an ARC setup. If I had an ARC HDMI, I wouldn't have had to do anything else. Blessing in disguise the fact that it didn't, I then hooked the optical cable that came with it, so the back of the Roku into the optical in the TV. The reason why that's essential is now anything running through the TV now goes through the Roku soundbar, even if I'm not using the Roku. If I'm using the over-the-air antenna, which I did, if I wanted to use the Android TV to watch HBO Max, that worked as well then. And I have less control of the settings and all that stuff, but it still works. So that was very helpful indeed then. So even though I didn't have the latest and greatest as far as the HDMI ARC, with the optical cable there, that worked very well then. So I'm very pleased with it. And while as I don't feel like I'm getting 5.1 or anything like that, I'm not getting massive surround sound, I'm getting better depth, vocal depth. I didn't have to get a little nudge in myself like, what did they just say? So everyone in the family then heard what we were listening to, and we enjoyed binging 8 episodes of Discovery of Witches and the movie Knives Out. Now, neither one had really much action going on or anything like that, but in case of Knives Out, there's a lot of talking and a lot of things going on. Being able to hear what everyone is saying, that helped quite a bit. So, 2 thumbs up for the Roku soundbar in this house, and being from Wisconsin, anything with the word bar in it is good for me. So, the Roku soundbar. If you want one yourself, go for it. If not, that's okay too. Roku Ultra and the Roku Premier is all good as well. So, that's the news here on the Roku soundbar on Me and My Roku. Okay, kids, gather around. I just want to take one more little thank you, a little tip of the cap to the Internet Archive, the providers of the bandwidth of the Me and My Roku podcast, and any podcast that I have done since 2005. I want to thank them and tell them how much I love them, and expressly wish that you can go check it out for yourself, because there may be a project you might want to do for yourself. Maybe you've wanted to write that book you've always wanted to do, and you're not sure if it can get published or anything like that. Well, just put it in the Creative Commons or do the copyright on it. They'll take care of that for you, and then it's at least preserved, and it's out of the head, out to the world, and let the world decide what it's for. Plus all the different library functions that they have, all the music, all the things that they're trying to do. They're trying to preserve 78 records, a lot of the things that you can't find anymore and will be lost if we don't try and preserve these things. The Wayback Machine. You can go back to the year 2000 and go to radioaffliction.com and see me with blonde hair. It's fun. Just like the Internet Archive. So check it out today at archive.org. As a special thank you for also listening to the Me and My Roku podcast, I am inviting you to try out 7 days of Philo. Why not? If you get a new Roku soundbar, you can get 2 months of Philo. But if you love me and appreciate what I give you and all that stuff, 7 days free is good enough to let you know what if you like it or not. After that, it's only $20, 60 channels. It's all there for you as a special thank you. I offer that to you today. Check it out today at philo.meandmyroku.com, and you're taken right there. And all you have to do is either give a mobile number or an email address. It's up to you. I leave it to be your choice. And also, I do a lot of the stuff for fun. Get gift cards so I can watch a lot of these programs and all that stuff. You can check that out today and how I do that at swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. So check those all out today, and a special thank you once again to the Internet Archive. So check them out today again at archive.org. Okay, well, a couple questions came up over the weekend as well that I thought were worth discussing, and since I'm doing a special edition show, why not just throw them on top of that? So, as I was exploring the soundbar, I also checked a couple things out as well, and related to these questions. Excuse me. Okay, Dorothy wrote, I just downloaded Retro TV and wound up deleting it. Am I doing something wrong? Only option was live retro. There was no guide. Okay. Yeah, you are correct. And if you see, sometimes Retro TV is also used as a extension channel. Like if you have channel 3, you're like, that's your main CBS station. That's 3.1. And then 3.2 could be like Retro TV or Dabble or something like that. Retro TV is also found as part of that, if I can talk. So, and sometimes there's a guide there that'll tell you what's coming up next and all that stuff. The only option you're going to have here, and now I understand this is me and my Roku, and we're all different. So, you and your Roku, if you've found out you didn't want to just watch it live and just find the, exploratory of it and just, kind of like a roulette to see what's playing. It's okay. It's up to you. If that was because Pluto or Roku channel now with their guide will tell you what's coming up and all that stuff within a couple hours. So that's okay. There also is another tool that you can use. As you may have noticed, I got another toy last week now, and that was an iPad. or our phone, doesn't matter. And these have websites, and they'll tell you what's going on. So Retro does have a website that lets you know what's coming up as well then too. So then that doesn't gunk up your Roku, type of thing. So by looking at their app, it looks like they use some sort of make your own app type of thing, and they probably only had so much space or so much data that they could use type of thing, so they just kind of threw it up there so it could connect to their broadcast type of thing. So that's what I saw on it. So if you wanted a guide, you didn't get one, you want to delete it, it's up to you. To me, I deleted it for completely different reasons. I didn't like anything that I saw on there, but that's okay. Next question is from Brenda, and she has a question that I've never really thought of before, but that's what makes us all different and makes all these things kind of unique. Her situation is, when I plug my earphones into the Roku, no sound then comes on the TV speakers. I will return it if I can't use the TV speakers and listen at the earphones at the same time. Any ideas? Well, Brenda, I don't want to encourage someone returning something. And like I said, everyone's situation is different. For me, that's called private listening for a reason. This is the whole point of what they did on that, was so that you could listen to your Roku then and still have it on and maybe not disturb someone next to you or something, like if it was a bedroom TV type of thing. I understand there are situations like if you want to hear more clearly or something like that, you want to be able to have your headphones. We used to do that with my grandfather. You used to be able to plug the headphones into the TV as well. So I get why you would want that, and I feel bad that if you feel like you have to return it, but I couldn't find an option for you. I did both the plugging in to the remote, and then on the soundbar, I used the app on the iPad, and every time I went to the headphones then, it took that as well, even though it's not connected necessarily. So even with the app, you can only do one or the other. I looked for a setting in the settings as well and could not find one. So if you were looking for multiple listening, I could not find a solution for you on that. But if you want private listening, that's what it seems like the function is for. So that may sound disappointing, and I feel like I let you down, but it's okay. So on that note, I probably should get back to my Roku. I'm starting to get a little itchy, a little twitchy, and get back to my soundbar and all that stuff. I want to thank you for listening to the special edition of Me and My Roku. As a thanks, once again, don't forget you can get a 7-day free trial of Philo. Do that today at philo.meandmyroku.com. Once again, thank you to the Internet Archive for their support and for providing the bandwidth of all of my podcasts. I really appreciate it. You can check it out today at archive.org. Maybe do a project of your own and just check out what they have. It's fun. And for more updates or anything like that, just check out my new webpage at meandmyroku.com. And if you want more of this stuff delivered right directly to you, subscribe to the Me and My Roku podcast. You can do it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube, iHeartMedia, Podbean, and Radio.com. Follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction, and for more intimate, one-on-one questions, comments, anything like that, you can email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. Thanks so much for putting up with me on this little pop-up podcast here, but I hope you are enjoying you and your Roku as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku and my Roku Soundbar. And I'll be back with you real soon. Take care.